In July 2006, 1,000 people came together to address the undeniable inequities facing young black men in our society. Since that time, Pipeline hosted forums and formed working groups focused on a range of issues in education, employment, and the criminal justice system.
The focus of the Pipeline winning strategies has been the pipeline, the crisis in the pipeline, the fact that we are losing young black men every step along the way, from birth, with high mortality rates, to preschool, to K-12, to the labor market. This evening is about closing those gaps, those holes in the pipeline.
Not only are there questions of fairness and equal opportunity that we need to consider today, but then when we think about where we will be as a country 30 years from now, it is a matter of, I would say, national security.
The inevitable browning of America, if it continues apace, and current median incomes of minorities remain at 60% of whites, the impact on the U.S. economy, GDP growth, and America's world leadership are fundamentally threatened.
By sixth grade, affluent kids have had 6,000 more hours of learning than poor kids. And affluent families have spent $90,000 more dollars than poor families. And that number is getting larger, that the distance is getting larger and larger.
And that starts a whole pattern that could be easily addressed through quality early childhood experiences. And so that's part of the reason why I think this initiative that the mayor has been proposing is so critical.
But that is it. You got to start early, because once you fall behind from the ages almost 0 to 3, then the odds of you staying behind at every stage of your educational process are very high.
Absolutely.
And it's unfortunate.
So that's some of the craziness you have when you look at what we call collateral consequences, which implies that there are these short-term things that are attendant to your arrest and conviction. In reality, a lot of these consequences are lifelong. Even if an individual wanted to come out with an entrepreneurial spirit, depending on the state and city, there are all kinds of barriers to being an entrepreneur, which is so cuts against the grain of who we are as Americans.
So our goal cannot be to uncover the answer, because with respect to these issues, the confluence and impact of discrimination, poverty, a failing education system, low wages, and an insatiable prison industrial complex are undeniably, inextricably tied together.
Kids who go to after-school programs attend school more often, they do better, they get better grades, they get into less trouble.
We essentially developed a model that is designed to keep students in school longer through the school week, as well as on Saturday for a few hours.
We started a new initiative which we're calling Middle School Extra. And in 20 schools, every sixth grader is going to school 2.5 hours more a day. And they get supper, they get an hour of enrichments, and an hour of academics with a real focus on literacy.
We think that the mentorship is a big part of making them believe what is possible for themselves.
We don't see it immediately, but the money we're spending now to incarcerate young people is money down a hole that is not even changing the lives of most of those young people.
For every dollar invested in prison education, there's a savings of $3 to $4 in terms of 3-year reincarceration cost. There's a 43% reduction in recidivism in terms of people not going back to prison by providing education in prisons. I think you got to look at that.
The money is here in New York City. We have a great advantage over many other areas because of the resources. The question is, how do we get the word out that there are strategies that work that have to be invested?
For us, it's to convince people that this is just not a little icing, just make it a little better, that it's really thinking about how do you really reinvent education.
From my perspective, it's changing perceptions and the paradigm so we don't see them as those people. We believe that you pay your dues, you make a mistake, pay your dues, and then you should be able to get on with your life.